Puts up a tough shot. Bounces around. Goes in at the buzzer. Working it down to 2-1. A deep three. Oh!
It's population.
That's how you win a game.
It's population. We hustle every day to find picks. You can tell us if you want to get rich. It's population. We robbing Underdog and PrizePicks. We the best in this biz. You ain't telling us shit. It's population. We love making money quick, fast. Cooking up a team card. The whole crew about to smash. It's population. We do it for the fam, so everybody let's cash. The dopest team you ever seen. Winning money, stacking G's. Bookies setting traps, but they'll never catch me. Some people get addicted like rats to the cheese, but I got one obligation to bring Johnny to his knees. Holding back the props till the morning he knows. They'll be fishing in the shack, plotting nukes with the pros. Only withdraw, never reload. Underrated them out, amigos. We go with honest, we seeking the bloods. We know when a fucking cheat code. Party that I'm sweating, they can't be good for my health. Some might call it making bets, I call it investing in myself. I'm picking props like stocks. Population for the win. Got my sips in by the buzzer now. Let the games begin.
Unbelievable. Just awesome. He did it.
It's population. It's population. It's population. We do it for the fam, so everybody let's cash.
Hello, sir. What is going on with you?
What is up, guys? Happy Monday. After Super Bowl, everyone's probably tired. Although, a lot of people probably turned it off early, right?
No. No one turned it off early, but it wasn't very good. Actually, you know what? To be honest, it was good. Fuck it, bro. Let's watch the Chiefs get their ass whipped and see how they deal with it. Kind of like that.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't like either team. I wish both teams could have lost.
Yeah.
But I'm tired of the Chiefs. Like a lot of people are, and especially since it beat the 49ers twice in the Super Bowl. So,
yeah.
But it's hard. It's hard rooting for the Eagles at the same time.
It would be fun to have a good game, but yeah. It's kind of like Sean Strickland getting his ass whipped. Like, it's kind of fun. I like that.
Yeah, that was straightforward, no-brainer. UFC went pretty well for us.
Yeah. That Strickland was the highlight of my weekend for sure.
Oh yeah.
You were sleeping.
So hopefully he's done.
Oh, he's so gross.
But yeah, I mean, Duplessis versus Hazmat, right? So.
Yep. Who you going for? Actually, early lean. Who you got?
I got Hazmat.
Me too. But I'm not very confident. I'm not, bro.
Yeah.
DDP's pretty. He's definitely shown me something lately.
He's got to just take him into deep waters, and just stay alive, not get taken down, and then maybe his cardio can outlast him, because we haven't seen Hazmat in like deep water before, so that's the only thing I can see. But
it's one of those good ones though, where you don't really know. It's going to be interesting. I like it.
Yeah, it's not good for betting. I wouldn't bet on it.
Yeah, unless the odds are crazy or something. But probably, yeah. I feel you. It's a hard one.
But we got next big card's March 8th, 3/13. That's a really good card. Some good ones on there. So looking forward to that. And we got some fight nights in between.
Yeah.
Touch over this 10-game NBA slate.
Yee, 10.
Kind of late start, and there's a ton of injury news, guys. So
and all the trades and everything's just hard, huh?
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard day. But we'll try to find a few things. And the women's college basketball is not the best slate, but I do like Kentucky money line today. I don't know why they're such dogs. They're playing at Ole Miss. Now Ole Miss they're a top defense in the nation, but they've been struggling. They were ranked all season, and now they're not. They fell out of the top 25. Kentucky just moved into the top 10. They're now 8th in the AP poll. They're just putting up massive amount of points. So yeah, what do you get here? Does Kentucky keep the scoring against a good defense, or Kentucky's defense can hold it down too? So it's not like they're just outscoring teams and giving up points. They can hold it down defensively. Georgia's playing out of her mind. Just dropped 43 against top team Oklahoma. They just beat Oklahoma. Ole Miss lost to Oklahoma. So give me the. I mean, especially Kentucky. Flip their plus 155 from money line. I think you find even better elsewhere in other books. I think they're up to like plus 165, plus 170. So I'll take that. I mean, number 8 Kentucky at Ole Miss. And then another good matchup is in Nebraska, Iowa. I think we can look to Hannah's PRA. We just saw this matchup, and Alexis, the two forwards, bigs in the paint here. Alexis fouled out in this game because it went to overtime. She would have played more. She fouled out, and she still had 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 19 points. So she had 30 PRA. Her line is 24.5, I believe. And then Hannah had 16 rebounds, 2 assists, 16 points. So she killed it, 34 PRA. But did go to overtime. And the biggest thing with Hannah, man, is just she's always in foul trouble. I was looking. So lately she's just not playing many minutes because of fouls. Like 20 and 23 minutes for the last 2 games because she had 4 fouls and then 5 fouls fouled out against Minnesota. And she's even playing 23 minutes against Minnesota, she still cleared her PRA with 26. I believe she's at 23 and a half. Yeah, 23 and a half, and Alexis at 24 and a half. I think you just run them back. The big thing with them is just foul trouble, being bigs. If they pick up 2 early fouls and they lose out on minutes in the first half. But the lines are pretty low for their potential. So it's a boom or bust. And then I want to back to Kentucky players like Georgia, and then their big 6'3" center Clara. But it's a tough matchup. I don't usually take overs against Ole Miss. But since I'm backing Kentucky here, it kind of makes sense if you want to take them. But I think I'm just going to back them by just taking the money line. And then, that's about it for that. And then Aussie tonight, we got the playing game.
Is it tonight? Is it tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
2:30.
Okay.
2:30 a.m.
All right, cool. I didn't know.
We don't have much on the board as of right now. Hopefully they drop more, like some more players and props here, but
all right, cool.
Dang,
it's at 2:30 in the morning though. Oh shit.
Yep.
These mother.
Because it's a primetime. It's the only primetime game. It's a play-in. The winner goes on to the playoffs. So.
Okay.
I mean, essentially it is. I mean, it's a playoff game, but it's a play-in.
All right. Well, J. Cole, take your nap, bro. Get your nap in.
There you go. My early lean is I think Matt Hurt has been the engine of that team. And I think the coach Josh King's gonna ride him, and I think he's gonna run the offense to him, live and die by him tonight because Perth is giving up like second most points in the paint. That's where Matt lives, and I think I'm just take his points here, and I think that's the only way that Melbourne, Phoenix keep it close. Otherwise, it's gonna be really tough for them. Because they can't rely on Sobey. Sobey played terrible last time against Perth. He had 8 points. And you can't, we know Sobey. He's not reliable at all. His lines have been nerfed big time. He was all the way up to 20 and a half for a while. 30 and a half PRA. Now he's down to 26 and a half.
Yeah, that's
PRA.
sad. That was fun. Those are fun unders that one day, especially.
Yeah. Now it's like, I don't know, because Sobey goes hard, man, sometimes, and especially games like this, if he goes hard and just gets fouled a lot, that's the only way he goes over his point line. It's when he takes like 10 plus free throws, right? So, and there's a lot of guys on Perth that'll foul, like Pinder and Wagstaff and others. So, and little Ben Herschel too. So, I'll probably stay away from Sobey. And I'll probably just on the Phoenix side take Matt Hurt, and then on the Perth side I'm undecided yet. It's a tough call. Pinder absolutely dominated Phoenix last time, but I can never take an over on Pinder. So it's gonna be either Doolittle or Bryce are gonna step up big, and Bryce just won his 5th MVP over the weekend.
Did he?
Yep, back-to-back MVP. Won it last year and he won it this year. So
Wow. All right.
And I believe it's in Perth, and Bryce always gets going with the crowd.
God dang it, that's high though.
Yeah, I took his over at 28.5 versus Kendrick because I knew they were going to go back and forth. He dropped 43,
Wow.
but it's never fun taking over on a line that high at 29.5, right?
Yeah.
In a 40-minute game. But he doesn't sit, and he won't sit in this game. That's for sure. He'll play the entire game. So I saw on Underdog they had his 3-point prop at 4.5.
Yeah.
Now he does take a ton of threes, but that's just crazy, man. Like his line is usually 3.5, 3-point main. But yeah, and Phoenix is pretty good on 3-point defense, so I don't think they're going to give him easy looks. But he just takes so many threes. He'll take anywhere from 10 to 15 threes. So it'll be a scary sweat for the under that 4.5, especially at home. I have to look into that more, but I think his assists are live. He's playmaking a lot more this year, and especially with Windler back, who hits his threes. He's playmaking to Pinder and Doolittle. If you want to go that route, that could be a possibility. But if his teammates aren't making the shots, he'll go full black hole and won't pass it. That is the only problem. Okay, yeah, there's not many props up right now, so we'll see. And we'll check Dabble later, too. All right, should we get into NBA?
Might as well. It's there. Might as well look at it.
Yeah, we'll quickly go through it, because I haven't had much time yet. I have to look through it more, but we got to look at this injury list we got. We got so many questionable tags, and they're all, like, key guys, man. Like, Tatum and Jaylen Brown, both questionable. They both missed pregame warm-ups or shoot-arounds. Tyler Hero's questionable. Dame is questionable with Giannis already out. MPJ, Jeremy Grant, Mike Conley, Strus, D'Lo, PJ Washington without AD already. Josh Green. Steph's questionable. Ant-Man's questionable. Yeah. Tyler Hero. So there's a lot we're not going to be able to determine or navigate through with all those tags, but what are you going to do? Let's start with the Hawks and Magic. Magic have been so bad, and so have the Hawks. No more DeAndre Hunter for the Hawks, and Hunter's making his debut for the Cavs today, right? So, I think there's not. This is the one game that's not major injury news, right? Just Suggs is out again. Trey is probable. Other than that, full go. Dyson Daniels, coming off a double-double? Didn't he have like 10 assists against Milwaukee? Yeah, 10 assists. So weird. And random. I think Dyson will probably be on Banchero a lot. So probably like Franz here the best, right? 25.5 points. Everywhere else went up to 26.5. I mean, he's been having the highest ceiling so far with Banchero struggling, man. Look at Banchero, dude. Oh my gosh. He's shooting awful from 3. Multiple games going 0 of 6, 0 of 4, or 0 of 5. He had back-to-back games against the Jazz and the Warriors, who've been bleeding threes lately. Well, Jazz all season, but Warriors especially. He goes 0 of 6 in both games from 3. 0 of 4 against the Blazers. So he went 3 games in a row shooting 0 of 16 from 3. That's horrible. Yeah, he's shooting 1 of 23 from 3 over his last 5 games. Wow. If there was ever a spot to bounce back from 3, it would be against the Hawks, right? But Hawks really struggling on pick and roll ball handler defense. Franz runs a lot of that, right? 21% of his points. He's struggling in transition. Franz scores in transition, free throws. How's his playmaking? It's getting around 8 to 9 potentials. He had a massive rebound spike game, 17 rebound chances against the Spurs. How do we feel about just his PRA? Looks like Fliff doesn't have any lines up for him, which is kind of weird. Or maybe Props Madness is not updated with Fliff lines yet, but if he's 35.5 on Fliff, I would consider it. Yeah, PrizePicks Underdog, you're getting him at 36.5. I mean, it's a good assist spot against the Hawks. It's a good scoring spot. It's a good rebounding spot. Yeah, I'm on the fence. I don't know. Maybe his points or his PRA if you want to back Franz here. It's a good matchup for him. But overall, the Magic are just so bunk, man. And Goga is dead, right? 26 minutes against the Spurs, 2 points.
He's awesome.
3 rebounds against the Nuggets, which was a good rebounding spot. Maybe he's just not fully recovered from his injury.
Hey, yo, he says, "Sup, bros?"
What up? What up?
Josh, mad scientist.
How you doing, man? How we doing on a Monday? I would say, man, only one I'm back here would be Franz, but that's still just mid-tier. Because Banchero still, even though he's playing so bad, his usage will affect Franz, right? So, because he's still shooting even though he's missing. He's still taking 6 threes even though he's making none of them. Yeah, because Banchero is still having around a 27 to 30% usage rate. But Franz, he's been spiking up to near 40%, 38% usage against the Kings and the Spurs. So, and the Jazz, which he obviously went off scoring. So, you just got to hope he has, like, you know, definitely more than 30% usage rate, somewhere around 35, and you can feel pretty good about him getting those points. Not the best hit rate for guys like him, his position versus the Hawks, but yeah. Pretty average game overall. I mean, the total's average, minus 221. Okay, Timberwolves, Cavs. I don't play either of these teams. Ant-Man's questionable, so definitely can't call the T-Wolves side. And like I said, we had the DeAndre Hunter debut. No idea how that's going to affect things. Assume they're going to have him come off the bench still. Like, have him as a bench guy. Unless Strus is out. If Strus is out, since Okoro's been out, do they just slide DeAndre Hunter into the starting lineup? I assume going forward, like, especially in, like, playoffs and things like that, like, their starting 5, I imagine they keep Strus in there and then have DeAndre Hunter as their scoring 6-man spark plug off the bench. Since, I mean, that's been his role ever since being in the league too. So, but if Strus is out today, who knows? We'll have to wait and see. If he starts, man, that's going to really affect the usage rate even more so with all these guys who already split up the usage, right? Garland and Mitchell's split up duties, ball handling, playmaking, scoring. So we know Hunter is going to chuck when he's out there. So that's probably going to lower the shot volume for both Garland and Mitchell. And then Mobley has been having a really high usage rate as of late too. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on the Strus news and then just what they plan to do if they start him or not. I would just hold off on this, honestly, because we have no idea what Hunter's role is going to be. and how he's going to look his first game. And if they try to get him involved, and he just takes like abnormal amount of shots, more than normal on this team. We don't want any unknowns, so I'm going to pass, guys. I'm going to pass. I mean, I would say like Donovan Mitchell at 23.5 points is pretty low. He's on one of his little heaters right now, but he could easily go back down to putting up 19 to 21 points, like what he's been doing a lot this season. He's been living at that like 19 to 22 range. So I think the 23.5 is probably fair. Okay. Wizards, Spurs at Wizards. This will be a fun one. We love tagging the Wizards, right? Spurs 10.5 point favorites. A really nice total, 237. Is that the highest total in the slate? It is. It is. The highest total. Man, the Spurs, they've been giving it up to backcourts lately, right? Because they're starting Fox and Chris Paul together. And they're not known for their defense. So they've been getting cooked. What, LaMelo just dropped? Went off against them, I believe. What do you have? 24 points, 7 rebounds, 10 assists. It's a pretty solid PRA game. First game back from injury. I think Miles had a big game too, right? 25 points. Woo, that's a lot for Miles. Yeah, I feel like the Spurs defense definitely takes a hit now, not having guys out there like Sohan playing more minutes like he was in the beginning of the season. Yeah, having Fox and Chris Paul on the perimeter is not what you want for defense. For scoring, it's great. Chris Paul will obviously play make, set up Fox and Wemby, and then Vassell will score. He's a bucket, so they're definitely set up for offense, but the defense, I feel like, is taking a hit now. I can't take any Wizards, though, with that said. Poole's coming off a monster game, right, against the Cavs, 45 points, and then follows it up with 21 against the Hawks. Sounds about right for Poole. Have a big game, like against the Warriors, 11 points against the Kings next game. So up and down, too volatile to bet on. I will say, man, like, I remember, I think it was last year, there was a stretch of games that Richaun Holmes is starting at center, and the Wizards defense like markedly improved at the center position. And Holmes, yeah, he's no slouch at defense for near the rim. So it's not entirely the same Wizards front court and attacking in the paint. Because Richaun Holmes is a massive upgrade over J-Val for sure. So I still think, I mean, overall as a defense, they're obviously attackable. So I don't mind, you know, if you think it's going to blow out, which highly likely, it's the Wizards, right? They just lost by 14 to the Hawks. They get blown out a lot. I would just probably side on the first half props here. So I'd probably just go to Wemby in one slip, and Fox has been really active as always with the stocks too. And we know these young Wizards guys will turn it over, so I wouldn't mind his first half fantasy, or you just do Wemby straight up and not even mess with Fox. He hooked against the Hornets. And then he went over recently against the Magic. I mean, it's a prime fantasy spot, right? For Wemby. But again, like I said, it's not a slam dunk with Richaun Holmes starting at center, as it would have been Holmes not starting. So, but I still think it's worth a shot. He should have at least 3 stocks here in the first half. In the scoring, should have easy time scoring from the mid range and from the 3-ball. Yeah, Wizards second last in transition defense, pick and roll man defense, everything that Wemby does. So I'm with it.
Kev says, any early look Aussie nukes to pair with NBA plays today? Sobe, Cotton? Question mark.
I mean, the board's so limited. I'm not sure if you're talking about Underdog or PrizePicks, but only lean I have so far would be Matt Hurt's points over, because I just really think they're gonna run the offense through him. They have to. He should play the entire game almost. Sobe, I gave a spill on it earlier in the show. He's so low now, 18.5, and when Sobe goes hard, like he could just get there for free throws. He'll just continuously drive to the basket and draw fouls. So, and then it just depends if his 3-ball's going in or not. It was weird. Last game he dropped like 11 points early, and then he never scored again. But then it looked like the Phoenix, they just kind of threw the towel in early because the game didn't matter that much. It was just for seeding, really. And it just seemed like they were like, all right, whatever, we're going to get ready for the play-in game. So all the starters only played like, what, mid-20s minutes? 25 minutes max? But yeah, I would say right now what's available on the board, it would just be Matt Hurt. And then I had a slight lean on Cotton's assist, but I need to look into that more in the matchup. Okay. Yeah, I'll take Wemby in this matchup. It's a high line, but on paper, it makes sense, right? And then, like I said, I might hedge it with a separate slip Fox fantasy. I'll have to look into it more. I want to see his shot volume in the first half too. If the shot volume is still there for him, and how like playing alongside Chris Paul with the playmaking is. I just know he's still getting stocks. So Celtics Heat, can't really talk about this game. We don't know if Tatum or Jaylen Brown are playing. It's not looking good for him. Both of them weren't a shoot around. Tyler Hero is questionable too. Andrew Wiggins makes his debut, so I'm not touching any Heat guys, that's for sure. Too much volatility there. But the unknowns. I will say, if both Tatum and Jaylen are out, I think you could look to Derek White's PRA or RA, or even fantasy. He should play make here. Because is Drew already out too? Yeah, Drew's already out. So yeah, I would just go with this RA or PRA. I mean, he's gonna take a lot of threes probably. It's against the Heat, funnel threes. He'd also give up assists at a high rate too. So we know that Derek White's RA goes way up with Tatum and Drew out. So, and you throw in Jaylen Brown being out, possibly. Yeah. At 4.5, I mean, there's pretty heavy juice on it. But if you take it now and just hope this guy's sit based on the news report, because I imagine that goes up to 5.5 if both of them are out. And then Peyton Pritchard, obviously, it's a good matchup for his 3-point shooting here as well. It just depends on what his point line is. I mean, hopefully it's not anything crazy, like more than 15.5, 16.5. If those guys are out. Let's see what he did. So he cleared this PRA line with Drew out and Porzingis out, Derek White, earlier this season, early December. 19 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. and Tatum played in that game. So I would, yeah. Do we have a fantasy line for him? I mean, I would even consider the first half 16.5 for sure. But this game should stay close if both the Tatum and Jalen are out. So yeah, 32.5 fantasy. His RA's already bumped. His normally 8.5 with those guys out. Yeah, I'll probably just split it up. I would play like the RA in case his shots off. RA in one and fantasy in the other. But again, this is all depending on the news. And their Celtics are 5.5 point favorites. That would suggest one of them is going to sit. Yeah. Okay. And then, yeah, again, Peyton Pritchard's points are 3-point made. There's some ugly games on here, man. Hornets at Nets, I'm good. Took D'Lo, considered his assists against the Heat because the Heat gave up assists. He had 9 potentials, and the bums around him only made 1 of their shots of those 9 passes he made. So I am good on anything assist related for the Nets. And LaMelo, I assume he's questionable like always. Oh, he's probable now? Okay. Yeah. I'm good, man. Because the Nets are still number 1 on pick and roll ball handler defense. They sell out on stopping that. It's going to leave wing shooters open like Miles, Nick Smith, but I can't trust them to make the shot. I mean, you can consider LaMelo's assists or RA in this matchup because they are, like I said, they are going to focus on trapping him and stopping him off the pick and rolls. So he's probably going to dish it off. It's just a matter of the guys making their shots, right? So if you wanted, I would probably say the RA would be the way to go, but his rebounding has been so up and down. He had 1 rebound in 32 minutes versus the Bulls. It's disgusting. So, yeah. Probably say assist number 1 and then RA number 2 maybe. But I'm staying away from this primarily. Ugly game. What's the total? 211? Disgusting. And if you try to take his under, I mean, even though they're good at the pick and roll defense, LaMelo can just get hot from 3. How many threes he takes, and then you're cooked because the game will probably stay close. It's only a 2-point spread. Speaking of game not staying close, Pelicans at Thunder. What is this spread? It's going to be massive, right? 16.5. Woo. Big Chet's back. He played 22 minutes. Played 7 minutes in the first quarter. His line is still 3.5 first quarter. Took it at 2.5. Might consider it here. A little degen bet here. I don't know. Or what's his first half fantasy line? Is it still like so low because of his minutes? 15? It's a little high. I think his first game back it was 12 flat. I took that too. I was like, wow, that's even if he plays. I was like, man, if he plays, anywhere from 10 to 12 minutes, you should get that because he's definitely over a fantasy point per minute guy. And this is a prime matchup too, so you can boost that up even more, that fantasy point per minute rate in this matchup. But yeah, they adjusted. 15. It looks like, at most he's probably going to play 12, I imagine. So probably not worth it. He played 6.5 minutes at first, and then about 4.5 minute. Let's say about 5 minutes. So yeah, so he played 11.5 minutes. 11.5 minutes in the first half. Probably goes up a little bit, over 12 minutes maybe. So that, yeah, I would have considered him in if it was like 13.5 max. So probably good. I mean, if you want to take a shot on the first quarter points, I wouldn't blame you. He's going to play around 7 minutes, so he has to hit 2 shots, right? Probably take 3 to 4. And that's it for that game, man. Zion, tough matchup for him going against guys like Chet and Dort and others, being OKC, but he could get there in free throws, man, if he's making them, because OKC still fouls at a high clip. Yeah, second most free throw attempts allowed. But I don't want to take the over in this matchup, so I'm probably just going to stay away. I noticed that the Thunder have been giving up a ton of points to wings, man. Like, because they're just selling out trying to stop the primary ball handler score. And they're just leaving the wings open, daring them to shoot. I forget which game. Which game was it? Who? Was it the Phoenix game? One of these wings had a massive game as recently against them. I took Grady Dick's points, and I knew him being a wing. They leave him open. He got his points. Whoa, Royce O'Neal hit 18 points. He went 6 and 9 from 3, dude. So much for Royce. Yeah, and Santi had 18. He's a wing shooter, spot up shooter. 18 up the bench. Yeah, it's just the wings, man. They're daring them to beat them. They're just not going to let the primary scorers beat them. So, yeah. It's going to be, I mean, guys like Trey. But his lines are too high. And he struggled in this matchup for sure. I'm probably good on this game. Didn't Caruso just go off recently? I think it was one of these games. Yeah, it was the Memphis game. He had like more points than SGA in the first half at some point, almost near halftime. Yeah. Hartenstein, man, this dude, it's been so up and down lately. He was so consistent early on. I mean, it's a good matchup for him. At 29 he had what? 24. At 29 PRA in 29 minutes. But Chet didn't play. Maybe if you want to consider his first half, because the Pelicans do give it up to centers, but he has not been that guy. Yeah, the Phoenix game he struggled big time. Good matchup. Toronto makes sense. They've been kind of better, especially when Pearl was out in near the rim defense. Yeah, I would say a slight lean on that, man, since it is the Pelicans. But it just, with Chet being back, even though Chet's only going to play 12 minutes, it definitely is going to hurt Hartenstein's fantasy point per minute production. Right? So the game in December, he had 21 fantasy, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. But again, Chet did not play in that game, so right. Caruso had a good game in that one. Keep riding Caruso. I'm good on this game, guys. Warriors and Bucks, no idea what to do here because we don't know if Dame or Steph are going to play. So wait and see. Good spot for Bobby here. Warriors been bleeding rebounds, right? He's been rebounding his ass off like he always does when Giannis is out. I remember there was a game, I think last year, and he was playing some team that was a terrible rebounding team, and Giannis was out, and his rebound line was like 13 and a half, 14 and a half. It was something crazy, man. And I think he got it too. Against the Hawks, his live rebound line went up to 14 and a half. He had like 9 rebounds at halftime or something like that, or midway through the second quarter. He still got it, 15. Yeah, great rebounding spot. It just depends on the status of Steph and Dame. Because if one of them sits and the other one plays, I think obviously the team, whichever one plays, like there could be potential blowout. Because both of them are so crucial for these teams right now. Even with Jimmy, Buckets looking good. First game against the Bulls. No Steph. I would be really, really scared for the Warriors here. Even like if Dame plays, so it's a wait and see. But I mean, I would say Bobby, even though he has high lines, I would consider him in for his PR.
Big Ren's here though. Big Ren's here though.
What up, Big Ren? He's playmaking too, so maybe you just go with the PRA. But yeah. He's going to see a lot of Draymond, a lot of Jimmy. I don't know. Depends on Dame's status. But I wonder if Dame's out, how much this is going to go up, his lines, or is it already kind of baked in? 32.5 is so high, dude. I know he's been getting it done. But he had 3 really good matchups. I mean, this matchup is still pretty good. Warriors giving up rebounds. Their defense before Jimmy got there, right before Jimmy got there, was horrible. Especially when Wiggins was out. Oh my gosh. But Jimmy definitely improves it. Buddy Hield has been really bad on defense, though. And then obviously Steph's not the best defender, so the perimeter has been getting destroyed. I think Jimmy will help that somewhat. They were getting cooked by the Bulls early in that game. I was watching it, and then Warriors made a run, came back to blow the Bulls out, but Bulls were up big for a large portion of the beginning of the game. So if Dame plays and he's 100%, I mean, it's a smash spot for him for sure. His lines are just, they're really high, but I like his playmaking has been steady with Giannis out. I would just consider PRA or fantasy for him too, if he plays. So wait and see, man. If Steph doesn't play, I'm curious to see what Jimmy does here, man, as the number 1 option. Because Steph definitely was helping him in that first game. Jimmy talked about it after the game. He's like, I have ISO defense on me because Steph gets so much attention. Jimmy's like, this makes it so easy. I love it. So if anything, stepping out's gonna make it harder on Jimmy. Okay. Wait and see. That game has 2 big news to wait on. I don't know if we'll get it before the first game locks. But let me know if you guys like anything from that one. Kings Mavericks. There's no pending news here, right? Just PJ Washington, which is, that's pretty big, I guess. And Max Christie. Yeah, but both Max and PJ are questionable. Kings are full go. Always like tagging Kings with spot up shooters. I would have liked PJ in this matchup. I mean, Kyrie could have a game here, coming off of 2 tough matchups against at Boston and Houston. This is a prime spot for him, for sure. Especially if like PJ's out. You could consider Clay, but you know what you're getting into with Clay, man. Even in the best matchups, he's gonna go one of 8 from 3, or he's gonna nail all his threes early on in the game and clear his lines early. So yeah, 1 of 4 against the Rockets, 0 of 6 against the Cavs. But this is a really good spot for him, man. King's still dead last in spot up shooting, giving up to 3 ball. So it all aligns with Clay, right? 33% of his points, majority of his points coming from the 3 ball and spot up shooting. Definitely a boost if PJ's out. More shot volume for Clay here. So I don't mind it. It looks like it was 14.5 and went to 15.5 in a lot of books. So, man, and Kyrie's up to 27.5. I was hoping for like 26.5, 25.5, but they know about the matchup and potentially PJ being out. I'll say if PJ plays, I'll consider him. It's a perfect spot for him. He played them recently, 28 points. But there's no Kyrie, no Luka or Clay in that game. So, obviously, him and Najee dominated the shot volume. Yeah. Wait and see on that. But, I mean, I will say Kyrie and Clay have a smash spot today. It's just a matter, can they make the shots? I think in that game, Dinwiddie dropped 30 points, if I'm not mistaken. Just showing even more, like, guys that can shoot from the outside and spot up shooting, torch the Kings. Like, absolutely torch them. If Dinwiddie can drop 30 on you, let me double check that. I don't want to give you wrong information here. Dinwiddie, yep, 30 points. Yep. Oh, my. PJ Washington, 28. That's the Kings for you, man. So, yeah. I think, especially if PJ's out, I might just split the exposure between Kyrie and Clay here. Consider Najee, too, at a low line if PJ's out. His minutes should go up. He didn't play in that last meeting. 12.5 points. It's not bad. If PJ's out, maybe it goes up to 13.5. We'll see. Because I imagine he'll start. Especially if Max is out. Yeah, I think Najee would probably start. Okay. So 3 options there, man. Najee can black hole when he's out there too. Kings. You guys got anything for Kings? I don't know, man. The Mavs tend to sell out, stopping the primary dude. So I think that would be DeRozan and Monk here, and then they would just try to hold it down the paint against Sabonis. But in terms of like perimeter scoring, Jason Kidd tends to try to shut down the primary guy. Like I know, like whenever Steph and Warriors play Jason Kidd, like he traps Steph all the time, and then other guys, Ant-Man, they trapped him a lot. So with the Kings though, they don't really have like a primary dude. It's really split between Monk and DeRozan. I don't know if he would do that here. Hard to say. So I might just stay away from the Kings. Also depends on PJ's status and Max Christie. If both PJ and Max are out, Mavs defense takes a big hit for sure. Blazers Nuggets, I got nothing for this, guys. They play again, I think, either tomorrow or Wednesday. This is a doubleheader. Let me double check. Yeah, they play again Wednesday. Same matchup, same arena. We saw this matchup. How early in the season was this? Mid-December. Jokic dropped 34 points. He only had 13 potentials though, 8 assists. He only had 6 rebounds. So he was focused on scoring here, man. Oh man, Blazers have been playing good lately. They did drop one recently though to T-Wolves, who they've owned this season. But yeah, I mean, you can always consider unlocked Ayton here. Good matchup for him against Jokic. But I hate that it's in Denver in the elevation. So I would, and especially with the spread being what it is at 9.5, I might stay away from full game props, but I would consider the first half for Ayton.
Back to unlocked Ayton.
Yeah, he had a bad game against the T-Wolves, man, in the first half and overall. Went back to being Ayton, 6 points, 14 rebounds. The rebound chances are still there though, right? So, but taking a rebound and potential blowout spot here. But who knows? Nuggets play down the competition, but they do play so much better at home. That's the only thing. If it was in Portland, I would say this game, I would not be worried about blowout. Yeah, only thing I'd probably consider is Ayton's first half PRA, because you want access to the rebounding here. Maybe you consider the fantasy. But yeah, they just got blown out by the T-Wolves, right? What did he do in that last game? He had 32 fantasy in the first half. That's pretty solid. I was in Portland. 11 points, 9 rebounds, 4 stocks. So maybe fantasy is the way to go. He has the potential to get stocks here. I think MPJ is questionable. So that could help the game out, staying close. He's out. But he doesn't really move the needle as much as obviously Jokic here.
Ren says center against the Nuggets. J. Cole says nukes. Ren says Portland defense is like that now. Give me Portland. Oh, I like how he's on Portland these days. And he says 8 in RA.
8 in RA. I'll probably... Yeah, it's a good hedge too if you don't want to do his first half in case the game goes the distance. But he's been more active in the first half, man, because I always say Simons and others, especially Simons, black hole in the third quarter and then the fourth quarter as well. And he tends to die off in the second half as a result. But the first half, they have design plays for him. Phillips goes to him early in the games, get him going, try to get him the rhythm going. So that's why I tend to like his first half. Yeah. And we just looked at that first meeting. He has the stock potential here. So, yeah, I'm not messing with any Nuggets here. Blazers haven't been a team to attack right now. They hold it down the paint, dude. Oh yeah, Jokic dropped 34 on them, but in the paint, they're number 1 paint defense. And Jokic, he lives in the paint. He doesn't just score near the rim. He scores a lot in the paint with the little midi hook, one-hander hook shots he does. They just hold it down there, man. Klingon and Robert Williams, obviously Ayton out there. Ayton's not a bad defender, man. So, all right, last game on the dock. Jazz Lakers, man. Luka debut.
You made it.
Anyone say any word on his minutes? Did JJ Redick say anything? I haven't looked for any reports yet. I'll look when we get off here, but I imagine it's gonna be what, mid 26 minutes, 28. He hasn't played since Christmas, Is that right? Yeah. I'm sure he's not conditioned, as we know, right? So probably can't go hard and long. What do you guys think? You guys play anything, Luka? I will say these guys, when they first join a team, a lot of teams try to get them going, focus on them, get them involved. So I can see them going to Luka early here. Luka seems like the kind of guy that rest is good for him. Like, he needs rest. But before we get off here, let's just quickly check how he does coming back from an extended break, because he has missed quite a few games last few seasons, right? And returned. So let's see. Was it 2 seasons ago that he missed extended time?
I like how PrizePicks gives up a whole bunch of Luka discounts today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like what are they going to do if he really plays 25 minutes and all those discounts lose?
Right.
Oh, well.
I'm trying to find... I feel like one of these seasons he missed quite a bit of time and then came back. Or am I tripping?
Luka's 6.5 assists. Interesting. Now, the one that might be nice is the 0.5 point discount. He might get that. Can he score a point? Ren says pause, and I don't even know why. Lorenzo Morris says, I got Luka 4 assists. I did not even see that, and I was looking over there, and I saw people talking about that 6.5.
Okay, here we go. You missed...
Ren says Luka under RA. Go ahead, sorry.
December 10th. It didn't come back till January 2nd. Had 14 points. I was trying to find games where he missed extended time, came back. Because I feel like that's happened at least a couple times with him over his career. Because some guys, it really helps them having that rest. And other guys, they come back and it just takes some time to get their feet under them and start off cold shooting wise. So hard to say, man. Here he missed some time, a little bit of time here, right? Dropped 36 points after that 12-day break, 13-day break. Had a solid 20 RA, 56 PRA. Yeah, it's hard to say, man. Like I get the RA under. Like, I just don't know how this is gonna work, man. Between him and LeBron, like in terms of like the ball handling, playmaking. I mean, Luka has played off the wing a lot. Jason Kidd would use him to free him up and not have him bring the ball up. So I can see that. I can see Reeves or LeBron doing the ball handling, bringing the ball up, and Luka playing off the wing. He's done that a lot before. And all it does is, I mean, he'll still ball handle, right? He'll just come off the wing and play off the ball and when he gets the ball, obviously he still can play make and he'll have the decision to either pass or shoot or drive. So, yeah, they did that a lot when teams would trap him. They would free up space for him by having him play off on the wing off ball. So I'll have to read it and see what Reddick is saying and also the minutes. But yeah, maybe just take his discounts if sites are offering him. Why not, right? I think everything else is volatile because we just don't know how this team's going to mesh. Like, how many minutes is Finney Smith and Jared Vanderbilt going to have to play? Because they're going to have to help out defensively. Because if you roll out Luka, LeBron, Reeves, Rui, and Jackson Hayes, that's a great scoring team. But defensively, that's awful. And you're basically your two best defensive guys are on the bench, and Finney Smith and Vanderbilt.
Maybe you can watch it and find some live stuff. because it'll be just a
Yeah,
whole new
yeah.
thing, and you can catch something before the bookies see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, someone's gonna take a massive dip, and maybe it's just something that's like game to game and matchup for the playmaking, and it's just so volatile. It's not worth touching. The Lakers, like, they could just switch off. LeBron has a spike assist game one game, and then Luka the next game, or Austin Reeves has a spike assist game. It's just, I don't know, it might just be matchup based. But yeah, I mean, I just don't see how that starting five is straight offense. That's all it is. They need defense in there, and so it's gonna be Vanderbilt and Finney. With that said, I would if they start those guys, if they start Hayes, Rui, Reeves, LeBron, and Luka, you could definitely attack them early because there's no defense there. So I would do like a first half prop for the Jazz then, before like the bench guys come out, or first quarter even. Like guys like Markkanen, he's been crushing his first quarter, minus the Pacers game. Or his last 5, he was crushing it. Collins is active early as well. Very consistent in the first quarter. Can't even consider his first half. I would say either Markkanen or Collins first half, maybe.
Ren
If
said,
they roll out. Sorry, go ahead.
Ren said, I just had Luka for my streak for the cash play. I had his under 27.5 points, and now it's removed. His unders might be the way to go. I guess, yeah, it depends on the news, right? But yeah, his lines are kind of high for this first game. But I guess you could watch it and do some live stuff, really, with Fliff.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, I just have no idea how many minutes he's going to play.
Yeah.
Unless there's a report out there.
There might be soon. It is everyone's question today.
Yeah, it just says he could face restrictions. Well, he probably most definitely is, but is a big difference between, like, is it a 31-minute restriction or is it a 26-minute, right? So that's the big difference, because those 5 minutes would really matter.
Well, I feel like if they come out and they ball and whoop the Jazz ass, then he won't play much. But if it's close, I feel like they're going to try to keep him in because they know how many people are going to be watching his first game, and they're going to want to win, and they're going to want to have him in. So I would say the Jazz are getting their ass whooped. He's sitting a good amount. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, it also just depends on how he does his minutes. Like, if he front loads it, back loads it, or he just splits it. If he plays 6-minute quarters every quarter. Some coaches handle restrictions differently, like that. So they'll just split each quarter evenly, or they'll front load or back load. And if they front load, then obviously you want Luka's first half here in this matchup against the Jazz. But
Ren says, take Luka unders.
Well, yeah, I mean, if they're offering discounts, I would just take the discounts. Where are the discounts?
They're
at?
not that great. 30.5 PA is the one of them. And I saw someone had a 0.5 points, but I don't see it on the board. So maybe they're just doing one at a time, I think. They're just going, see how this one lasts for 30 more minutes, and then I think they're going to put another one on the board. Just a Luka day, so they can kill everyone when he plays 20 minutes.
Oh, so they're just going through, like, different stat lines each time?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay. Yeah, take his
Ren
under.
says do the unders before the news comes. But never know. Never know. He could come in and whoop some ass, and you're sitting there with your unders like, gosh darn it. I don't know. I feel you though, Ren. I do feel you, but I'm a little scared.
I mean, it's the Jazz.
Yeah. And he might want to show the fuck off, and they might want to just whoop some ass and come in and say, see how happy we are? We don't have AD now? Yay. And he's hurt. Let's go. LA, California Lakers. Fires are behind us. Let's go.
I mean, if you do want his under, I would just do the PRA. Like, if a guy's not going to get the minutes, we always do PRA. So
It is on the low side for Luka. I mean, what's his normal? 50?
His normal line?
What it used to be when he was playing.
Yeah, like it ranged. It would go from like 49.5 to 51.5.
It'll be interesting how he plays with LeBron, though. It will be. It will be. I must admit. Might actually watch it.
Is it on
They better put it on something.
ESPN?
It's Monday, so I assume so.
Yeah, it's on ESPN. Yeah.
That'll be fun. That'll be a fun later game. See what happens.
Yeah, it's a true late night hammer too, because
Mhm.
it's at 10:30 Eastern, and then the only other game before that is at 9 Eastern. So it's not even. It's an island game. It's not even multiple late night hammers. So
Yep. And you'll be stoked. You'll already have dinner and you'll be ready to watch and live bet it.
yeah. Although the live bet will still be hard because like we'll see his first stint, but we still won't know from that first stint how many minutes he's gonna play. But
Yeah. But maybe we'll find some other player that's just not playing. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see what they
Yeah.
give us. I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you can roll the dice on it, and then like you said, yeah, do the live or but don't forget about the Jazz here. That starting that if the Lakers go with that starting five, that's a very weak defense. So that's good for guys like Collins and Markkanen. If Lakers don't earn Roland, Vanderbilt, or Finney out there, start the game.
Ren said, remember, he still has to work himself back into basketball shape.
Yeah.
Can never tell with Luka. Is he in shape? Does it even matter? Just doesn't matter what he does. He'll figure it out.
I mean, he moves at a snail pace anyway.
Mm-hmm. All right, bro. 159.
All right, guys.
All right.
We'll get back in it. Follow news today. That's all I
Yeah.
gotta say.
Okay, man. We'll see you in the Discord.
Deuces.
Hey.